In today's video, we're going to be reacting to Fortnite's youngest prodigy, Boltz. Now, this video is made by Timmy FNBR, who makes some amazing Fortnite documentary content. I will leave a link to his channel down below in the description, and let's get into the video.
My favorite part about Fortnite is that anybody has a chance to compete and win, no matter how young you are.
What about, can I compete, or? I'm a boomer.
How old you are.
Oh, let's go, I'm here. I can do it, I can win. Okay, I'm not bush camp dab.
And because of that, new pro players pop up into the scene every day. Today, I'm going to introduce you guys to a kid who is better than Booga, and his name is Boltz.
Yo, what's up,
okay.
fans?
And in
First
my
time
interview with
literally
him,
hearing about
I
Boltz.
asked a very important question. Boltz, do you think you're better than Peterbot?
I mean, to be honest,
Yes.
Today, I am telling you the entire story of Fortnite's next champion, Boltz. Alexander Boltz Feijoo was born on March 20th of 2007 in Los Angeles, California. He has an older brother and an older sister, and his siblings got him into gaming at a very young age.
I probably first started when I was like 5 years old, maybe. I used to play on this like Xbox 360, but it was this one game, and it was almost like a carnival, and you would just like have so many other like games in that game to interact with, and that was pretty fun.
Obviously, carnival games Monkey See, Monkey Do on the Xbox 360 is very different from Fortnite. So how did Boltz go from being a casual gamer to being one of the best Fortnite players on the planet? Well, like many other gamers out there, one of his first ever shooter games was Halo.
The first shooter game I played probably has to be Halo. I think it was Halo. Yeah, I started with like the first one.
While getting more and more
Audio's a
into
little out of
shooter
sync.
games, Boltz also started to watch gaming content creators on YouTube. And if you were on YouTube at all in 2017, you know
Fortnite?
that there's one game that every content creator was talking about. Fortnite Battle
It's out of
Royale
sync.
came out on September 26th of 2017, and it was massively addicting.
And just like half of the population, I feel like on Earth, I have now become addicted to Fortnite.
As a viewer, Boltz watched all of these YouTubers make new and innovative content about Fortnite, which was super fun. And because of that, he decided to pick up the game after watching their videos.
I played it literally like before there was a season 1, like right when it came out, because there was these YouTubers I used to watch.
Can't
I
play
think
it
I
before
got
there's a
inspired
season
by it.
one.
Might have been Lachlan even. I used to just like watch him play other games, and then I saw like he started playing Fortnite. I had like an Xbox One at the time, and I just played it. It was pretty bad.
All of these content creators inspired Boltz, and he decided that he wanted to start
That was
making
pretty
videos
trash.
of his own. But there was only one problem. Boltz was a console player, and it's basically impossible to film and edit video game content without a computer. So if he wanted
Facts.
to live his YouTube and streaming dreams, he had to get a PC. So against all odds, he somehow managed to convince his mom to get him a gaming laptop of his very own.
Yeah, my first gaming laptop, I got that like season 4 of chapter 1. I think it was
That's not
mainly, once again, like I saw a lot of YouTubers that played Fortnite, and like all of them just played on a PC. I already knew like being on a console was like a disadvantage, but I also wanted to start playing keyboard and mouse, so just convinced my mom really hard to buy me like this like $1,000 gaming laptop, which honestly was like, I think looking back on it, a lot for the time.
Little did Boltz or his
Probably.
mom know at the time, but this $1,000 gaming laptop would turn out to be the best investment of his entire life.
True.
Normally, this would be the part of the video where I show you Boltz's earliest YouTube videos, but we can't do that for a really annoying reason. Boltz's
What?
YouTube account was actually hacked, and he lost all of his content forever.
I mean,
Oh,
I
what?
wish I had my old YouTube, which I don't have anymore because it got hacked, and it's like me like maybe 10 years old, literally just like showing gameplay of me like playing like pubs or
Oh,
whatever.
that sucks.
And while this was a devastating loss for Boltz and a big setback in his content career, his career would go into a different direction that he never would have expected. As he started getting used to mouse and keyboard instead of controller, he realized that he was pretty good at the game. And pretty good might be an understatement.
I mean, yeah, I think it probably been like in the first chapter, like OG Fortnite, probably would have been around like season 6 maybe, I think it was, season 5. After summer or whatever is when I realized like I was actually pretty good, because during that entire summer I was like just grinding Fortnite all day. I was so bored. Like, I think I was like 11 years old or something.
And over time, his focus shifted away from content creation.
As I started becoming better at the game, I kind of wanted to like focus more on just becoming better and just like competing
That's
than
better.
I really did want like to upload.
But just because he was focusing more on building and shooting doesn't mean he became a pro player overnight. He was playing on and off between 2019 and 2022, and he didn't even get his first earnings until November 1st of 2021 in the Chapter 2 Season 8 Grand Finals.
Okay.
So my first earn was Chapter 2 Season 8 of Trios, and me and my trio qualified to Grand Finals that season. I played with
That's
Motto and
crazy.
Lucky Pump. I don't think anyone would know of them right now.
Boltz and his trio managed to place 28th on NA West, earning him $200. Most people I talk about on this channel make their first earnings in a random cash cup or something. Not a ton of people are able to say their first earnings came from an FNCS Grand Finals, which is pretty crazy. But following this insane placement, he didn't make another earning until a solo cash cup on February 22nd of 2022, which was over 4 months after his first earnings. He did, however, get 5th place and earned $300. Boltz would continue to play throughout 2022, placing 12th during the Chapter 3
Nice.
Season 1 Grand Finals with his duo Zukis.
Zukis.
This would be his biggest earnings ever, as he made $1,500. Then Boltz would also play during the Chapter 3 Season 2 FNCS, but unfortunately him and his duo Zukis didn't even qualify for Grand Finals.
Aww.
Following this poor placement, Boltz only played in random cash cups for the rest of the year. However, he would eventually play in a LAN event that would change his life
DreamHack.
forever. DreamHack
I've seen
Atlanta
too many of these videos.
2022 took place on November 20th. For those of you who don't know what DreamHack is,
I do.
it's called a BYOC, or Bring Your Own Computer LAN event. They're highly
That's
regarded
crazy.
events in various other esports like CSGO, Overwatch, Street Fighter, and more. And over the past couple of years, DreamHack had become huge for Fortnite as well. The LAN was held in the Georgia World Conference Center and had a whopping $100,000 prize pool. And this wasn't just some random LAN held at a convention center where whatever person shows up can play. Technically, that was the rules. However, there were also massive names in attendance like Agers, Cammy, Kanata, Mr. Savage,
Damn, there's a
Queasy,
lot of good
and
people
so
there.
many
Holy shit.
more. To say this event was stacked would be an understatement. However, against all odds, Boltz, of all people, came out on top.
Wait, did Boltz actually win this? Did Boltz hold on despite going down in 45th? I think he did. I think that's updated. I think it's Boltz.
That's
Unrated
crazy.
NA West Demon, baby. The leaderboard like didn't change for the top 2. Is that it?
This win was absolutely huge. Not only did Boltz get first place, but he did it completely on his own in a solo tournament. And in that moment, as he won and collected the $12,000, he thought to himself, maybe Fortnite competitive could truly be a career.
At the
Maybe.
time, I'm pretty sure I had like maybe $5,000 earned. Winning 12,000 in one event, I was like, wait, like that's actually crazy. Like I didn't even think I was gonna win. That point on, I was like, okay, I think I can actually like make something out of this.
After such a massive win at DreamHack,
Hell yeah,
Boltz
dude.
knew he had to lock in for the 2023 season
Lock it in,
and
lock it in.
prove to everybody that he was a force to be reckoned with. This upcoming year would have a little bit of a different FNCS format. Throughout 2023, there would be 3 majors that would act as qualifiers for the Global Championship. The top teams from each major would get a chance to play in this LAN event, and that was Boltz's goal. So Boltz and his duo Thoric went into the first major of the season hoping to come out on top. They had done really well in a couple of cash cups and were looking like not necessarily front runners, but possibly top 10 players going into grand finals. But nobody truly knows what's going to happen until you actually get to game day.
So I played with Thor, honestly one of the best teammates I had. We were both like up and coming on West. Like when we played together, we had like 3, maybe 5K earned at the time. I mean, going into that grand zone, like we honestly expected to win it. And like a lot of people expect us to win too, because we top 3'd so many cash cups before that. And like we were just like the duo that was coming up, kind of like how like me and Rapid are now. But like at the same time, not everyone knew us. So like we weren't really in like Aussie
Unknown but
antics or
goated.
like whoever like prediction list to win. And we just had to prove everyone wrong.
They finished first place on NA West. This won Boltz and Thoric a whopping $31,000, and it qualified both him and Thoric for the global finals at the end of the year. But right at this time, Epic Games was about to do something that would completely throw a wrench in Boltz's plans of becoming a full-time Fortnite pro.
What?
See, Boltz lived in Los Angeles, California,
Central servers?
which is where the servers for the NA West region were. However, on March 10th of 2023, Epic Games would announce they were combining the NA West and NA East servers into one NA Central server. And while this might not seem like a big change for a casual or average player, this was a massive change for pros everywhere. You see, like I said, these servers were previously located in Los Angeles for West and Virginia for East. So the majority of players on those regions lived in those locations to get zero ping. But because of this change, players everywhere had to move to Dallas, Texas if they wanted to remain on zero ping and have a competitive chance at qualifying. But this was hard for players like Boltz. You have to realize in 2023, Boltz was still 15 years old, and it was a tough conversation to have with your parents and tell them you wanted to drop out of school or move out of the house at 15 or 16 years old. And because he wasn't ready to do that, this made the rest of the 2023 season really hard for Boltz.
Damn.
Not only was the distance and ping hard, but Boltz now had to play against everybody on NA East as well. So it was double the ping and double the competitor base literally overnight. Because of this, placement started to suffer for Boltz. Him and his duo Thoric only placed 45th in Major 2.
I'll tell my parents they're messing
Luckily
me up.
though, since they placed first in Major 1, they already had their tickets secured to the LAN event. So these majors weren't necessarily as important. However, it was definitely frustrating to place this low, and it would affect their mental going into the finals. And we'll talk more about that later, because first, we need to talk about the Olympics. And yes, I mean like the Olympics with the rings. Not many people know this, but the International Olympic Committee has been trying to figure out how to involve esports in the Olympics over the past decade. And Boltz happened to be one of the first ever people invited to participate. The Olympics esports series was held between the 22nd and 25th of June in 2023.
Yo, this is new to me.
It was a huge LAN event held in the country of Singapore. It featured the best esports players from all around the world, competing in categories like archery, baseball, chess, and of course, shooting, which was the Fortnite event that Boltz was invited to participate in.
I got silver. The competition itself, once again, it was nothing crazy. It wasn't battle royale. It's not what like anyone is used to. Like there was not much hype behind that.
That's
the
insane.
fact that you just get to go to like Singapore, get this sick trophy that I actually still have.
That's
meet
insane.
All these people from like Oceania, Europe, like wherever. That was just like such a sick experience.
How do you get picked for that?
Yeah, I would do it a million times over again.
Following the Olympics, it was back to California and back to FNCS. It was time for Boltz and his duo Thoric to queue up for Major 3, and the duo placed 17th. Although they took home $3,000, which is not too bad, this wasn't anything like the Major 1 placement that they got and had hoped for. So they were a little bit dejected going into the global finals.
The fact that we were qualified, like we were the first team basically to qualify. Like we qualified through the first major. We had to wait like 8 months until the LAN anyway. So like the hype of like, wow, we qualified kind of like died down over time. Especially as like it transitioned from West to Central and we kind of like weren't doing that good. It was like okay vibes going into LAN, but I wouldn't say it was like super exciting.
The Global Championships in 2023 would be held from October 13th through the 15th, and they would be the first ever event held outside of North America. And if you haven't been living under a rock, you know that the winners of this tournament were none other than Miro and Cooper.
Oh, okay, I know that.
Getting knocked out of the upper bracket to standing tall here. Lift that trophy! Congratulations, Miro!
Wow!
Congratulations, Cooper! How amazing it must feel to be the global champions!
Boltz and Thor actually ended up making it to the final day. However, they finished 48th out of 50 teams on the final day.
This guy's supposed to be better than
Duga
or Peter Wright?
Wasn't really going in expecting much, and we didn't really come out getting anything out of it.
Although it isn't terrible considering they were playing against the best players in the world, it's not exactly what you expect from last year's FNCS champions. However, that being said, the duo wasn't expecting much, considering they had a pretty hectic year, and the low placement didn't hit either of them too hard mentally. Boltz had still won DreamHack, gone to the Olympics, won an FNCS, and gone to a major LAN event. And not to mention, he was doing all of this while still participating in normal school and living a relatively normal life.
That's crazy.
And
though.
slowly but surely, he started to get some more attention at school.
It always just starts with like one person. My like one friend I had, he like said it to another friend I had or something. Like a few people come up to me, but it wasn't that crazy. When I won like that FNCS, like I kind of just like told a few of my friends.
Oh, so he
and
won
then, like,
FNCS.
Obviously, kind of like other people just start
Spoilers.
knowing. No one really like tries to take pictures of me or anything. Not really like how Poyo was when he was done with the globals or whatever, and he just went back to IRL school. It's definitely more chill.
While being a Fortnite pro hadn't really affected his life too much at this point, aside from the occasional confused classmate, the change to the NA Central region made it really hard for him to maintain a balance between his life in LA and his life in Texas. So he made the very difficult but important decision to move to online schooling instead of going to school in person like he was doing up until that point.
As I kind of saw like my interest was more directed towards Fortnite, and I saw I could make more of like some sort of a living or like just good money off of it. I just kind of like went to my parents and was like, now that like the servers are in Texas, like it's gonna require me to move like back and forth kind of, and I think it's gonna be pretty hard to like manage going in person in school. They were completely fine with me doing online school.
This is obviously a huge decision to make. Even if you're already making a ton of money as a Fortnite pro, it's a hard choice that can change your future very drastically. But luckily, he had two incredibly supportive parents that have been helping him every
Lucky
step
man.
of the way. So during the FNCS 2024, Boltz decided to team up with Jcabs once again. However, they only got back together for one season as they broke up after only placing 27th in the Major 1 Grand Finals. However, this wouldn't be too bad because Boltz would end up teaming up with BryceX.
So I think it's better if it's like more business. Like me and BryceX, for example, me and him, like we're not same friend group. Like we started duoing just because we both needed a duo, and I just like, hit him up on Twitter. I was like, yo, let's play. We'll obviously hop in calls to like VOD review and whatever. After tournaments, we're not on each other's calls. We're not like just like cracking jokes, whatever, you know, like it's more like a business thing.
And right after switching duos, Boltz shot up in placements. FNCS Major 2 that year, he placed 6th place on NA Central, winning $20,000 each. And this was Boltz's best placement by far since moving to the Central region. Then in Major 3, Boltz and Bryce would almost get back to 6th again, finishing in 7th place, which also earned them a spot in the 2024 Global Championship. Since they were doing so well, the hype for the upcoming Global Championship was way higher than the year before. And because of this, they placed way better, getting 7th out of 50 teams on a global LAN. On top of proving himself on the global stage, Boltz also got to take home a combined $60,000 with his duo.
Compared to the globals before,
I
was definitely like a lot more excited and like just like I had such like a better feeling of like how I performed this LAN. We got like 6th place in our first grands, and then we got like 7th place in the next one. Then globals came. That experience was so much better because we already went into like expecting a lot. We did not bad. We got 7th place. Definitely a little disappointed we didn't do better, but like can't be mad with how we did. Just that experience of kind of reliving like
the year before,
except actually getting like a placement that I'd be more satisfied with, gave me so much more like a confidence boost and like just more momentum going into the next season.
And as a lot of you guys know, the end of the Global Championships saw Epic Games make a huge announcement.
And just, I can't even believe it.
Trios and Siphon.
Just an amazing year of Fortnite. I was kind of curious though, what's the plan for 2025? Oh, $8 million in prize pool. Dude, that's actually really awesome. The players are gonna be really excited to hear that. Wait, I'm sorry, step back. Did you say trios? We're going back to trios?
And this is where things get interesting.
Cut
for
off when he
Boltz.
sits safe in.
With trios coming back, every pro player, including Boltz, was on the hunt for a new trio. And it looks like Boltz found one that is very promising.
Me and Rapid, basically like how our friendship started after the first like major this year, we both kind of like were looking for a place to go in Texas for a zero ping for like all the next majors. Basically, he like put out a post on Twitter, I think, like need a few people to go to Texas with, and then I also wanted to go, so I kind of hit him up. I was like, yo, like let's get a place, let's find a few people go. We ended up going with like his teammate Bamboo at the time and Fatch, who is now quit, and we just got like an Airbnb. We stayed zero, and then we just kind of like during that time, like after tournaments and stuff, we talk a lot. Like we just like kind of talk about how our tournament went, how we're feeling. After major 2, we all went back home, and then we were like, okay, it's major 3 now, we need a place for summer. And then we basically got a place again.
Damn.
It was me, him, Bambuga, and Yumi. Our friendship during like that time like really started to form because we were living with each other, and like we just go out places after tournaments. Once again, like talk
That's
about
pretty
how
cool.
tournaments went.
After living together, they obviously started
really
to become
cool.
friends, and then they realized that they might work well as a duo.
We were both doing pretty good at the time, but Rapid was definitely doing better than me. I saw like he was more like an up and coming kind of like fighting IGL. Yo, I think we should like run a tournament maybe to see how we are. Played like a console duo cash cup or something like last season, and we ended up getting like, I think it was like 5th place or something. We were like, okay, well, like, it's just console. Like, that doesn't really mean anything. Like, let's play like an actual PC event. That was when we were back home on 50 ping. So we were both double 50 ping, and we get 3rd place in finals. I got 7th place. He got 9th place at globals.
Okay.
We're both just going to split with our teammates. So we were like, we did good. We had a good year with both our teammates, but like, we thought there was still something better for us. So he went Texas. He had like a 0 ping apartment. I came like, all right, we're both 0 now. Like, let's run up our first tournament. Let's see how we do.
And they did even better on
Damn.
0 ping than they could have ever imagined.
The first duo cash cup we played, like literal like duo cash cup opens, whatever. We win that, and then the next day duo cash cup finals, we also win that. So already like on our first time like officially kind of like trying out, we already got like 2 tournament wins. Okay, like we're actually pretty good. Like, and then I think at some point we got like 10 or 12 maybe even like consecutive duo tournament wins in a row. Like, we were just shocked. We didn't really expect our like dynamic to work that good. Once again, he's like a fighting IGL and I'm just a fighter. The game has been like set to be put out now is like, it's a lot of like fighting based. Our chemistry just like clicked instantly. We just started like getting most kills in tournaments. We just started winning, but trios is still a thing, you know, they just announced it. So who do we want for our third?
Boltz and Rapid needed to find a 3rd player.
So he didn't win
and
FNCS?
shockingly enough, the best duo in the entire world, Peterbot and Polyo, had decided to split up and go to separate trios. The previous world champion, Polyo, was now available to trio, and Rapid and Boltz immediately jumped on the opportunity.
And like immediately, like the first thing we both agree on is just Polyo. If you don't know Polyo, then like I don't know what to say. You haven't been following comp. But this guy had like one of the most dominant years. At first, he's like, nah, I think I'm gonna play with Acorn. You know, like it's Acorn, and I give a lot of respect to Acorn. Like if I wasn't playing with Rapid, I'd 100% want to play with Acorn. We're like, okay, whatever. Like we'll just have to try out with someone else. We tried out with Muzz. With Muzz, we won like some like 3rd-party tournament, but we still wanted Polyo because we know how good Polyo is.
But Polyo wasn't just going to trio with anybody who asked him to play. I mean, he's the global champion. So Boltz and Rapid had to come up with a few wins under their belt first as duos so that Polyo would know they were the real deal.
Enough duo tournament wins me and Rapid got. Polyo was like, okay, I think Boltz and Rapid are just like, they're crazy right now. I think like I should play with them basically. And then we get like, our trio placements right now are like 2nd, 4th, 1st, and 3rd, or 1st and 2nd. Already,
Potential.
once again, like kind of how me and Rapid expected our duo to go, like where we kind of win or like top 3 a lot, is already like happening with our trio. Like we're like to Polyo, yo, play with us, like we'll win, we'll get 2nd, whatever, like we'll be on the podium finish no matter what.
I think I can speak for everyone when I say I cannot wait to see how Boltz, Rapid, and Polyo do next season, because I think we're going to be hearing their names a lot over the next few months and over the course of 2025.
I wonder who they're team with now. I wonder if they still have
I want to
Polyo.
give a huge thank you to Boltz for doing this interview, and if you want to follow him along on his Fortnite journey, I'm going to leave all of his social media links in the
that's
description
nice.
below, so make sure to drop him a follow and tell him that Timmy sent you.
I would always believe
Timmy.
in myself no matter what. Like, I always think, like, it's possible to, like, do these kind of things. But, like, at the same time, like, when you're kind of just, like, a random and, like, you don't even have any earnings or anything, it just seems, like, impossible. Like, you look up to all these, like, big pros and you're like, how do they even do it? But, like, there really just isn't a secret. Like, you just do it. You just kind of wake up and just get it done, you know? Like,
Facts.
you upload that video even if it's bad. You get on the game even if you're bad. You
Hell
entry
yeah,
even
dude.
if you're bad. Like, all these things just build up and, like,
Watch
eventually at some
another.
point, like, it'll pay off on its own.
I will.
Like, you'll know when it's starting to pay off.
Hell yeah, dude. That was awesome. Thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And if there's a video you want to see, let me know down in the comments below. Peace.